Okay, hey guys, we're going to do some area practice, but first I want you guys to write down your formulas. So pause this, get some paper and pencil, and we're going to title this Area Formulas. Okay, and now you can go ahead and Google formula, 6th grade formula chart, and you'll get this. Here's your formula chart. It tells you area at the top, an area of a triangle, a parallelogram, and a trapezoid. And those are the three shapes that we have learned. There's more you'll learn for next year, but these are the three that we're going to cover in 6th grade. So I'm going to go ahead and write down these formulas. The first one is a rectangle. Write this down with me so that you have it somewhere to keep. A rectangle or a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram. And a rectangle, parallelogram, square, they all have the same area formula. It's just area equals base times height. Okay, the next shape that we've talked about is a triangle. And how to find area of a triangle is you do base times height, but we take half of it because a triangle's area is half of a rectangle. So that's area equals 1/2 base times height. Okay, and the other shape that we have learned, we'll do green, is a trapezoid. Just going to put trapezoid. Area of a trapezoid, probably one of my favorites, it's 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Okay, and so these formulas, write them down, keep them, because on your quiz you're going to have on Friday, these are important and you will need them and use them, or you can use, a formula chart if you want to Google it. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and do a couple examples. We're going to do an example of each. The first example says find the area. Go ahead and draw this down, and I'll pause for 2 seconds. Draw this down. Okay, so when finding the area, we first have to identify the shape. Well, what shape is this? Well, Coach West, this is a triangle. Yes, this is a triangle. So we need to have our formula for area of a triangle. Well, if you look at your paper or go to the formula chart, area of a triangle, well, what is that formula? That's A equals 1/2 base times height. So let's write this down. Always write down your formula. Always. Even if it's easy. Always write it down. Okay. And do we know what the area is? No. That's what we're trying to find. Do I know what the base is? Yes, the base is 12. Base again means the bottom. That's my base. So my base is 12. Let's keep following our formula. Do I know what the height is? Height has to be straight up and down. Do not say that 13 is the height. It's not. That's a side. Okay? Height has to be straight up and down. And so therefore our height is 8. That's straight up and down. And so now we just use our Gemma to solve. We take, well, what's 1/2? What's 12 times 8? You can come over here and do 12 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So this is 1/2 times 96. Well, multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. So really, we just do, well, what is 96 divided by 2? Well, 2 can go into 9 4 times, which is 8. Subtract, we get 1. Bring down our 6. 2 can go into 16 8 times. 2 times 8 is 16, subtract, and we're done. So therefore the area is 48, and we'll say, well, this was inches squared. Okay, so your first step is to identify what is my shape. Once I know what the shape is, what is my formula, and then fill in the formula. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do another example. Example 2. We'll put example 2 in the corner. Go ahead and draw this shape for me, please. And we're going to say the base is 6. This is 3. And this is 8. So to find the area, we first have to identify what shape is this. Well, this is a parallelogram. So if we go to our formula chart, area of a parallelogram is base times height. So always write down your formula. Area equals base times height. And again, let's fill it in. Do I know what my area is? No. Do I know what my base is? Yes, my base is 6. And 8 is my height. Your dotted line, remember it has to be straight up and down. 3 we don't need. That's the side. That's not straight up and down. So my base is 6. And my height is 8. And now 6 times 8 is 48. You could say yards squared. We'll say this was in yards. Okay, so that's a parallelogram. Let's do one more example. We'll say this is example 3. Go ahead and draw this shape for me. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to draw that shape. We're going to say that this is 7, this is 12, 6, and this is 8. Okay, well, to find the area of this shape, we first have to identify what shape is this. This is a trapezoid. I'll put trapezoid. So we need the formula for a trapezoid. Over here, trapezoid is right here. Area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. It is a little bit of a long formula, but it's not hard. So let's go ahead and write down our formula. Area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. And let's fill it in. Do I know what the area of this is? No. That's what I'm trying to find. Do I know what base 1 is? Yes, base 1 is 12. Base 2 is 7. Now, 7 plus 12 is the same thing as 12 plus 7, so it really doesn't matter because of our commutative property of addition. So we could say 7 plus 12. Remember, 12 plus 7 is the same thing. And what's our height? This is my height. 8 is my height. 6 is just a side. It's not straight up and down. Height has to be straight up and down, so I don't need that. And now we just follow Gemma. We do our grouping first. 7 plus 12 is 19. Times 6. Multiply 19 times 6. 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5, 114. Rewrite it. That's 1/2 times 114. And now we have to take half of this. Remember, taking half of something, multiplying something by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. So I'm going to erase this over here, and I'm going to go ahead and do 114 divided by 2. Well, 2 cannot go into 1. Let's put a 0. 2 goes into 11 5 times, which is 10. 11 minus 10 is 1. Bring down our 4. 2 goes into 14 7 times. And we are at 0. So the area for this trapezoid is 57. And we can say inches squared. Okay, so I'm going to go back to slide number 1 and make sure that you have these formulas written down. You have to identify, is it a rectangle, is it parallelogram, is it a triangle, is it a trapezoid? Write down your formula, plug it in, and solve.